I'm getting an error message for my sound that's happened before. It just requires me to log back out and log in. I just don't want anybody to get worried. I'll be back in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Sure.
I had to come and get my seals.
We are live on YouTube as well. Yeah. Just to let you know. We are live on YouTube as well. Yeah. Just to let you know. We are live on YouTube as well.
Yeah, there's a lag. I think Akash and Shruti are in the same room.
Yeah. So
that's the reason why there's an echo in the room. I think you'll have to. Others, it's not going to be clear. You're going to be constantly having that echo.
Sure.
So either one of you all log off or
I'll log off and we'll sit separately.
Yeah.
Hi, Shalini. Good morning. You're on mute.
I'm on mute. Good morning. Good evening.
Yeah.
How are you?
Shalini, the last we met was in Bangalore, just before the
Yes.
COVID shutdown happened in Bangalore, I think.
The green bill, right, Gopal?
Yeah, green bill. Yeah, that's right.
Feels like a long time ago.
The India Green Belt is the only one that's physical this year, I think, right, Gopal? Everything else has gone virtual. So.
Absolutely. So we have that that record that we can say 2020 we had a physical event.
That itself is by an achievement, right?
So I think we should not talk about February rather than saying that we did that in 2020.
Do I read it properly that RMZ achieved 2 features more than what was actually needed to achieve the rating?
Okay.
17.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Overachievers. Very good. Wonderful. Such an amazing project right out the gate for us. We're so happy to be celebrating this with you.
No,
if you had given them a little bit more time, they would have got all of it too. So.
Well, Deepa, it's an annual certification, so there's always next year.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a continuous rating, right?
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
So I think we can go ahead and start. Shruti, Rakash, are you all there?
We there, Thiru?
Yeah. So can you yeah, Shruti.
Christmas?
Yes, we'll let Shalini kick things off for us today.
Yeah, yeah.
Great. Thank you, everyone. Once again, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. My name is Shalini Ramesh with the commercial team at the International Well Building Institute. As part of my role at IWBI, I lead the India market strategy and have supported several projects, including RMZ, over the last 4 years. On behalf of IWBI, it gives me great pleasure to be here today to celebrate a true leader when it comes to advancing human health and safety, both in India and globally. It's a great moment for this conversation because COVID-19 is raising awareness around the world to what many of us have always known to be true, that our buildings, our communities, and our organizations play a key role in protecting our health, and that the decisions we make in our buildings and across our organizations can influence the spread of infectious disease. We know through COVID-19 that things like our maintenance policies, emergency preparedness programs, and even our cleaning and sanitization procedures are impacting the spread of COVID-19. We also know that our ability to support staff to work from home, give them programs that support their mental health, and provide them with resources if they need extra support during a challenging time are all critically important to protecting health and well-being during times of crisis, but also more broadly from a futuristic perspective. At IWBI, we've been honored to serve as a resource during this time of need. We know that we must make our buildings and our businesses healthier, and we're happy to be here to help. Over the last few months, we've seen an increase in market engagement with the Well Building Standard and the programs we offer at IWBI to support health and well-being strategies. We're receiving nearly 1 million square feet of newly registered projects every single day. Overall, by engaging with our community, we are seeing a renewed focus on actionable solutions and commitment to the journey with well. Building on IWBI's culture of continuous improvement, we are using our most fundamental and core product, the Well Building Standard, to create a foundation for organizations and buildings to support health and well-being goals. In June, we launched the Well Health Safety Rating for facility operations and management to help clients prepare for re-entry and rebuild in a more resilient organization in a post-COVID world. This is a focused portion of the larger Well Building Standard that takes selected features that deploy operational and management-based strategies to address acute health issues like COVID-19. This makes it a program that's relevant now, but also in the future that utilizes the foundational program, the Well Building Standard, as the base. Already, more than 500 assets have signed up to achieve the Well Health Safety Rating, and there are many more who have committed to it as part of their certification or well portfolio efforts. Tomorrow, for those in the region who would like to learn more, IWBI is also hosting the Getting to Know More About the Well Health Safety Rating across the Asia and Oceania webcast. We'll share the link you all shortly. India is quickly emerging as a key market for well, and more generally, buildings, communities, and organizations that are prioritizing health and well-being, and RMZ is no exception. Nearly 70 projects totaling 38 million square feet are pursuing well certification across India. The well community advancing the movement has grown exponentially as well, with nearly 330 registered and credentialed, well-accredited professionals supporting the market. RMZ's is the largest portfolio of assets enrolled to pursue well certification in India at 26 million square feet. And of course, today we are here to celebrate their incredible achievement as the first organization globally to be well health safety rated at 41 properties across India. RMZ is a privately owned developer, manager, and investor of real assets. 17 years old and growing rapidly, they have over 250 enterprise customers in 6 Indian cities and 85 million square feet of real estate assets under their ownership. With technology, innovation, and architectural excellence, RMZ stands on the threshold of the future of space. Now, I'd like to introduce our esteemed leaders we'll be hearing from today. From IWBI, I'm pleased that President Rachel Gutter is joining us. Rachel came to IWBI after nearly a decade at the US Green Building Council, where she served as Senior Vice President of Knowledge and was founding director of the Center for Green Schools. In 2016, as IWBI's Chief Product Officer, Rachel expanded the well building standard to address all building types, as well as whole districts and communities. Becoming president in 2018, she led the effort to bring a new version of well to the market, shaped IWBI's research and education platforms to accelerate market transformation, and developed the Well Portfolio Program and the IWBI Membership Program. Rachel leads an incredibly talented team doing business in more than 60 countries that include market development and sales, dedicated coaching contacts, researchers, and subject matter experts who develop and evolve the well building standard. From RMZ, we're joined by Mr. Thirumal Govindraj, Managing Director of the Executive Board, and Mr. Gigi Thomas, Associate Director for Services. At RMZ, Mr. Govindraj has worked tirelessly towards building an amicable community, changing the way people view a workspace. He has also initiated RMZ's Tenant Relations Program, which enabled a congenial relationship with clients, understanding and catering to their future requirements. As the man responsible for revenue and NOI management, Govindraj has effectuated 99% occupancy across the RMZ portfolio. Gigi Thomas is responsible for the services function at RMZ and manages a mixed portfolio comprising office, residential, and retail space. His focus is on ensuring the well-being of the members of the community, thereby establishing property management services as a key differentiator for RMZ. Mr. Thomas also drives the RMZ initiatives to add the well-building standard to the portfolio. His aim is to firmly establish a technology-enabled, digitally driven, sustainable model of business, which he believes will significantly reduce the total cost of occupancy and achieve sustainable goals with enhancing the customer experience. We are also joined by Mr. Gopal Krishnan Padmanabhan, who is the Managing Director for APAC and Middle East from GBCI India. Gopal manages business and market development of LEED, WELL, and other GBCI rating systems for Southeast Asia and the Middle East regions. GBCI has provided support with documentation review for the health safety rating, similar to third-party reviews they provide for the WELL certification. And we believe this is key, which is a key differentiator for a global rating in the face of COVID-19 pandemic. Finally, we have Deepa, who is the Executive Director of EN3 Sustainability Solutions. She is a leading international green building, HVAC, and building systems design professional. She is a WELL faculty and a WELL AP, as well as a US GBC Lead Fellow Class of 2019, IGBC, as well as an IGBC Fellow. She has been conferred with several recognitions, including the 2020 IWBI Community Award and the IWBI Leadership Award in 2019. She founded EN3, which has operations in the US, India, and Middle East and Africa. Her work includes many industry firsts, including one of India's first net zero energy buildings, first carbon neutral organization, and India's first carbon neutral construction project. And now she adds to that impressive roster to support RMZ as the first organization to achieve the WELL Health Safety rating. With that, Deepa, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Sure. Thank you, Shalini. It is indeed a wonderful moment that we gather today to celebrate RMZ's monumental achievement. It was not too long ago that about 2 months back when Gigi and I spoke about the new well health and safety rating and how it would benefit RMZ and the occupants of RMZ's buildings in order to provide them the most needed assurance that the buildings are safe and healthy, especially as they get back to their workspace post the COVID-19 pandemic. So essentially, it has been a wonderful but a very fast journey of 2.5 months, and that has actually culminated into RMZ becoming the first entity today to be certified, to be rated under the WELL HSR rating. So this is a very impressive accomplishment: 16.74 million square feet, 41 buildings across various cities in India. The WELL just a moment. Sure. The WELL Health and Safety Rating Framework is a fantastic framework which has been developed with extensive research on wellness in the built environment. For consultants and experts like us, it provides the much needed framework, tools, and guidance in order for us to help projects implement various health and wellness related O&M policies, protocols, and even design strategies. And more importantly, I think it gives the occupants and the users the assurance and the peace of mind that the buildings are safe and healthy. It encompasses many requirements or features, as they call it, spread across operational policies focusing on health and safety, maintenance, cleaning, and sanitization protocols, emergency preparedness, and plans associated with the building's ability to respond to emergencies, and of course, engagement of all the key stakeholders that occupy the building. So when we started implementing these measures for RMZ, we had a hard look at the way RMZ was already implementing their O&M practices in order to enhance that, to address some of these key requirements that the health and safety rating put forward, and also keeping in line with the COVID-19 pandemic and in future similar pandemics that may come across in the industry and in the market. Starting with cleaning and sanitization practices, they enhanced their existing practices. They planned for healthy re-entry strategies. They trained extensively their housekeeping and their maintenance team in order to be able to implement some of these well requirements on an ongoing basis in these buildings. They even installed PPE vending machines in every campus, providing easy access for occupants and visitors to access masks, gloves, and other PPE gear and equipment. One of the key issues with the pandemic has always been in terms of touch and surface contact, and every measure was done to ensure that these buildings minimized surface contact. Touchless hand sanitization and shoe sanitization practices and equipment were installed in these buildings. Foot-operated doors were all doors were fitted with foot operations to ensure that there is easy access without touch, and the added touch-free elevator buttons, sensor-based faucets, and a lot of systems within the buildings very quickly modified to make them as touchless or touch-free as possible. They also, in line with their commitment to a technology-enabled building and solution, set up apps for social distancing and also apps for managing visitors, payments, and even other activities within these buildings in order to minimize contact, whether it is physical contact or touch-free contact, as they call it. One of the biggest things I think that this pandemic has put forward for us is our lack of being prepared to respond to a pandemic like this as a country, as a city, and even as a building. So emergency preparedness was one of the key areas that RMZ focused on. They developed elaborate plans, enhanced their emergency resources that they provided in each of these 41 buildings, set up systematic practice drills and evacuation procedures, trained and educated building users, maintenance people, and occupants in order to be able to respond to such emergencies in the future. Their emergency preparedness plan not only addressed medical emergencies, but also fire and other natural disasters and other emergencies of all kind. Another key initiative that RMZ did was their enhanced partnership with one of the leading healthcare providers in the country, which is Apollo Hospitals. They were one of the first people to very quickly partner with Apollo to bring Apollo's medical knowledge and expertise in order to develop solutions for their existing buildings. They set up stay-at-home practices, policies for short and long-term sick leaves, and also many aspects were set up in terms of supporting physical and mental health recovery for their own direct employees and staff, and also for the extended community, including the building occupants. Their overall focus in terms of creating an environment promoting and enhancing health and wellness has been visible in the last few months. If anybody has visited these campuses, it was a monumental effort, but significant measures were taken into account. Air and water quality management has always been a prime focus area for RMZ. Adequate fresh air ventilation systems, enhancement of their filtration systems, setting up elaborate and robust protocols for preventive maintenance, and also for facility cleaning and operations of various HVAC systems and equipment, and also ongoing testing both on the air side as well as on the water side to ensure that the buildings continue to perform at the highest levels in terms of enhancing the indoor environment was undertaken, and corrective actions were immediately put in place wherever they felt that there could be additional areas that they could improve on. Of course, the building is nothing without the occupants, and several initiatives have been done to ensure that all the stakeholders have been educated and have been engaged in a way in order to create a health and wellness culture in all of these 41 facilities. Communications to all stakeholders have been happening on a regular basis, highlighting them of all the measures that the buildings are undertaking, educating them on the do's and don'ts, and also providing them with the adequate resources in order for them to be able to occupy and enjoy these buildings better. So all of these efforts culminated into RMZ today being the first group of buildings to be certified by IWBI under the health and safety rating. A total of 17 features have been achieved. The requirement is to achieve a minimum of 15 features, but buildings were able to achieve 17 of those features as highlighted by the health and safety rating, and in overall achieve it across all their existing assets in Bangalore, in Hyderabad, in Chennai, in Pune, and in Gurgaon. So that is an impressive and monumental effort of 17 million square feet of spaces very quickly ensured that, very quickly put together and ensured that they enhance the health and well-being of their occupants. I think for us as EN3 personally, this has been a fantastic journey, and several thanks to Gigi and his team for all the support and all the assistance extended to me and my team in order to able to make this happen. A special thanks to Shalini at IWBI and Julan at Delos for guiding us through this entire effort in order to make this happen. I think this is a fantastic and proud moment for RMZ, for EN3, and for India as a whole to be recognized and to be the first set of buildings to achieve this rating. My personal congratulations to the entire team, and it's been a fantastic journey, and happy to be where we are today. Thank you all.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rachel Gutter, and as you heard from Shalini, I'm IWBI's president. And we are so excited to be with you today to announce that RMZ is the first organization, the very first in the entire world, to achieve the WELL Health Safety Rating for facilities, operations, and management at an incredible 41 properties across India. RMZ's achievement to successfully implement the new rating requirements builds on the more than 100 organizations encompassing more than 500 facilities that have responded swiftly to enroll in this documentation-based program and implement its science-based guidance as they seek to instill confidence and trust among their staff, their customers, stakeholders, and the broader community. The COVID-19 pandemic has underscored to companies in every sector how critically important it is to be prepared for a crisis. RMZ has demonstrated outstanding leadership by taking purposeful steps forward to support the health and safety of their staff and visitors as they return to the workplaces at dozens of buildings. At IWBI, we are proud to celebrate this achievement with RMZ as they lead the way toward a healthy, resilient recovery and help drive transformative action in India and across the globe. RMZ's leading efforts to earn the WELL Health Safety rating highlight the critical role that buildings and those that own and operate them can play in supporting people's health, safety, and well-being. Our new rating aims to meet the urgent need to deliver high health and safety standards in all of the spaces that we occupy. And while longer-term design strategies are important in reducing the risks of infectious disease spread and enhancing immunity, this rating focuses on strategies that can be implemented immediately to address acute health threats using our buildings and spaces as a first line of defense in the fight against COVID-19. RMZ was supported through the WELL Health Safety rating process by an experienced consulting team led by Deepa at EN3 Sustainability Solutions that's dedicated to advancing health, well-being, and sustainability. Deepa has been one of our most important partners along with the EN3 team in advancing WELL in India. We're also proud today to showcase our alignment with our partners at GBCI. GBCI is providing documentation review for the WELL Health Safety rating, similar to the third-party reviews that they provide for WELL certification. And we think this is a key differentiator for our global rating in the face of the COVID-19 pandemic. As we slowly make our way back to the spaces and the places outside our homes, the places where we live, where we learn, where we work, where we worship, and where we play, our buildings and those who tend to them have become frontline caregivers for upholding our health, our safety, and for keeping us well. So please join me in congratulating RMZ on this tremendous achievement. I'm now going to present you with this seal and this certificate. And I think I'm supposed to maybe throw them like a Frisbee all the way across the world to the team in India. So I'm gonna go on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, and we got them here, so we can.
Look at there.
So we're here. So. And we've got the certificate. So thank you so much. And we've got the certificate also. So it's great. Thank you so much, Rachel. It's all effort from the team. So it's great. It's a great moment for us at RMZ. For us for being the first company to globally achieve a WELL Health Safety rating for facility operations, and from the WELL Building Institute. We are sure that the validation of our policies, procedures, and protocols from an organization like IWBI will enhance member confidence while returning to work during these challenging times. So RMZ is committed to the safety and wellness of its members, more so after the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic. With a proactive approach for the safety of our members, on day of launch, we committed an office portfolio of 17 million square feet under this rating system, which is itself is quite a mean task. So I think all credit goes to Gigi and his team. They've always been at the forefront of all innovation when it comes to building management. They've really stepped up and given the confidence that all our members and clients get when they come to take space from RMZ. So I'd like to thank you all for taking time out of the momentous occasion. We further look forward to reinforce our relationship with IWBI beyond our existing association as the leading portfolio partner for well building for India. Thank you so much. Thank you all of you all. So Gigi being the man of the moment, I think we should hear from him on how things have panned out. Yeah, Gigi, over to you. Gigi, your mic is on mute.
Thank you, Thiru, and good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being with us in this momentous occasion of RMZ being recognized as the first globally to be awarded the Health and Safety Rating instituted by IWBI. I take this opportunity to formally thank Julan from Delos and Shalini from IWBI for facilitating a quick decision by us at the start of the journey. Deepa and her team at EN3 for help and guidance in achieving the rating, and especially to be the first. And a team from GBCI for quick turnaround of her submissions. Kirsten, Judith, and the rest of the communications team for organizing this event. Last but not the least, the team at RMZ, starting with the Thirumal for inspiring us to do better all the time. Shruti and Akash for the quick actions on communications front. And above all, my colleagues at property management team who ensure that all requirements under the rating systems are met at sites and documents required for submission are turned around in quick time. Great going guys. And Deepa very nicely elaborated on the rating and its relevance in the current context of the pandemic. I'm not going to dwell on this again. Instead, we'll talk about why we went for this rating. I would put these reasons in two buckets. I would say one is the DNA of the company and the leadership, which drives all of us to embrace new things. Second is the critical situation evolved after the outbreak of the pandemic. Let me start with the first case. RMZ has been a change maker in the Indian real estate industry from its inception in 2002. We had a very humble beginning with one project, the Millennium in Bangalore, which is still considered as an iconic building in this part of the world. We have created positive impact on the real estate industry in India, with each project being unique by its design features, introduction of amenities for the employees like food courts, fine dining restaurants, medical facilities, sports and swimming pools, etc. And further, sustainability has been the cornerstone of our philosophy. And now we have added wellness as the next driving force while creating the future of space. We are one of the founding members of Indian Green Building Council. Apart from creating green certified buildings, we also focused on energy and water conservation, waste management, air emission and effluent treatment during the operation phase to ensure that we remain an environmentally responsible corporate. RMZ has been one of the early adopters of LEED rating under our platform, which measures and benchmark the performance of the buildings at the global level. Today, I'm happy to state that RMZ holds the largest portfolio of commercial office space under the ARC platform in India, if not globally. Also, another first to our credit, the first company from India to partner with IWBI in the Well Portfolio Program. Now, the second aspect. The current pandemic has brought the world to its knees, affecting the rich and the poor, the developed and the developing nations without any discrimination. While the healthcare and law enforcement the law enforcement agencies have been at the forefront of managing the spread of disease, the facilities management team at all companies played a major role in sustaining the economic activities worldwide. In my 20 years of FM experience, this has been probably one of the rare occasions where contribution by the FM team is valued by many organizations. The first case of COVID was reported in India on probably, I think, January 31st. And the real threat was visualized by all during the month of February. And we started our preparation by then. The first step was to release a COVID handbook for use by all stakeholders, including the clients, the property management team, and overall involved in managing the buildings. And thereafter, regular communication to all on relevant aspects of managing pandemic. We had built our responses to COVID on 4 pillars, namely preventive, precautionary, reactive, and technology-driven operations. The only way to prevent the infection is to avoid contact with the infected persons or the surfaces. This can be achieved by way of isolation, physical distancing, avoiding surface contact, and personal hygiene in that order. However, preventive measures are largely rest with the individual themselves. When isolation is not always possible, we need to be interacting with others on discharge of our personal and official responsibilities. And this is where the property managers make a difference at the workplace. The precautionary measures undertaken by us included measures like thermal scanning at the entry points, provision of PPEs, hand washing and sanitization stations, health checkup of workers. We were one of the first globally to partner with Otis to provide an app-based touch-free use of lifts. In spite of all the precautions, disaster can strike. we prepared ourselves with the 24/7 medical support for all the sites, training the staff to handle emergencies, and even set up a helpline to support the people in need. We also developed a mobile application like COVID Safe and physical distancing apps, largely to enhance the administrative and engineering controls and to prevent the spread of COVID with more efficiency and accuracy. We knew we had done a lot of things at the sites, but the larger question remained unanswered. How do we inspire confidence in the members that workplace is safe for them to return to work? At this stage, we surely needed a credible agency to validate our process and procedures so that the members can return to work with more assurance. We contacted the infection control department of a large hospital chain. Deepa was mentioning about Apollo, for vetting our processes, and which they did. And we were in discussion with few global certification agencies who launched products around COVID containment process audit. And then we got the news of IWBI launching rating system. Who better than IWBI to validate wellness practices? And thereafter, we focused only on this rating system, and the rest is history. We are proud of our achievement of being the first company to have received the IWBI health safety rating. Once again, express our gratitude to all those who worked behind the scene. Team from IWBI, the EN3 team, GBCI, and above all, the property management team at RMC. And I'm thankful to everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gigi.
Gigi. Please.
Thanks. So, thank you, Deepa, Shalini, Rachel, and Gopal. Thank you so much for all your support. I think it's been fantastic. We've got another 35 million square feet in the pipeline. So it's a large portfolio, and we want to enhance the portfolio as much as we can as we go forward. I think we are looking at various design angles. We're looking at various technology angles. So there's a lot we are looking at. We are trying to bring in whatever best is available out there in the world, and ensuring that all our members and partners who are coming on board feel safe and can bring their employees back to work. So there's lots happening, and I'm sure you'll be a great partner going forward to ensure that we scale those heights we are looking forward to.
Congratulations once more to the RMZ team. Hearing Deepa and Gigi talk about all of the tremendous measures that you've implemented makes me so happy that we can celebrate this first with you, because you've gone so deep and above and beyond, even achieving more points than what were required to achieve the rating. At IWBI, it's always a really special moment when we get to connect with the impact of the products that we create. And I remember the exact day and moment when we decided to create the Well Health Safety rating. It was born of requests from customers like you who said, please help us to welcome people back to our buildings with confidence. Please help us to create an evidence-based roadmap for the best strategies to do that. So it's a very special day for us to be able to see the impact of the Well Health Safety rating on the ground, and to know that through great companies like RMZ, so many people will enjoy healthier and safer environments amidst this global pandemic and beyond.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, all of you. So hope to meet you all physically when things get better. So we can have a proper interaction.
Next green build in India, right?
Yeah. So thank you once again, Shalini. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Deepa. Thank you, Gopal. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks,
Gopal, do you
thanks.
have something to say?
Yeah, thanks, Shalini. I think I would just like to jump in. So I think, again, on behalf of GBCI and all my colleagues around the world, we want to add our congratulations to RMZ for the significant achievement. And thank you, Deepa, for facilitating this achievement. I think RMZ has a lot of first to the credits. They've been one of the early adopters of LEED. And as Gigi said, they're one of the early adopters of ARC in India. So thank you, Gigi and Tirmal, for your personal leadership. It's also my honor to bring you specific greetings from GBCI CEO Mahesh Ramanujan, who many of you may know. He's always very proud of our achievements here in India. And again, what differentiates, I think, the Well Healthy Safety rating is its reliance on the third-party verification to support the integrity of the rating. And that's GBCI's role in the process. So the team back in Washington, D.C. closely reviews all the documentation for the well healthy safety rating so that RMZ and the others can proudly stand behind the rating as a mark of excellence and commitment to transparency about what they accomplished. And especially in these times, again, let me repeat, it's an exceptional indication of leadership that RMZ has achieved this rating and how it signifies their deep commitment to health and safety of so many people. GBC has proudly supported IWBI as its third-party review organization since WELL was first launched in 2014. We are excited to watch their growth in both scale and global reputation and look forward to continuing to play a large part in that success. Thank you. And please continue to be safe and well.
Thank you. Thank you, Gopal. Thank you for your kind words. Yeah.
With that, I'd like to thank everyone. Congratulations again, Thirumal and Gigi and Deepa. This is great. Look forward to continuing to support your team. With that, I'm going to probably say goodbye and hope to see you all in India sometime soon.
Yeah, goodbye. See you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shalini. Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Congratulations.
Congratulations again. Thank you.
Thank you so much.